investor, you're thinking about making a move, and you're thinking about coming down to Coconut Creek. So let me tell you a little bit about the pros and cons of Coconut Creek. A lot of folks love to come down here. They love to be here. It's one of the most beautiful cities in South Florida, and actually the butterfly capital of the world. I'm Kevin Morris with the Morris Group, Keller Williams. We are local real estate agents. If this is your first time on our channel, welcome. We hope you like it. We hope you subscribe to it. If you've seen our channel before, welcome back. We'd love to have you back. Any questions or anything like that, drop them in the comments below. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna walk around and talk a little bit about Coconut Creek, all the great things that are down here, the pros and the cons, why you may wanna come down here to live, why you may wanna come down here to visit, and what's so great about it. Why are people coming down here? Why is this becoming one of the quickest growing small cities in South Florida? So why don't you come on with us, we'll go check it out. Our first stop's gonna be here at Butterfly World. If you haven't heard about this place, it is awesome. It's the largest butterfly collection in the world. There's over 5,000 butterflies here, and there are more and more coming every single day. They've got all kinds of aviaries for butterflies. They got a place where you can watch bees making honey, and there's a little clinic for birds and for any kind of wildlife that actually gets hurt and can't survive in the wild. So hey, why don't you come on with me, check things out, and see how things are going.
Here we are at Butterfly World, and as you can see behind me, they are having a festival here. You see some egg tossing with the parents and the adults. There are the rides for the kids. They have the slides, they have popcorn machines, got a rock climbing wall. So just check it out. There's a lot of family activities going on here, and this is in beautiful Coconut Creek at Butterfly World.
If you've been to our videos before and visited our channel before, welcome back. If this is your first time visiting our channel, we hope you'll consider subscribing.
If there's something that you would like to see around South Florida, just shoot us a text or leave a message or DM us, and we'll be happy to provide that for you.
Kind of a funny thing happened. We were talking to some of our kids. They said, Dad, where the hell is Coconut Creek? They know where Coral Springs is because we live there, and they know where Pompano Beach is because we've been there. We go to the beach there. I said, Dad, where the hell's Coconut Creek? And it was actually kind of funny because when we were out visiting some folks, we were actually talking to them, and they said Coconut Creek is one of those places that seems like it's in the middle of nowhere, but it's close to everything. And actually that's true. So, I mean, Suze, we're close to the beaches. We're about 15 minutes away from the beaches. We're up near Parkland. For those of you that know about Parkland, we're adjacent to Coral Springs. We're a stone's throw from Boca Raton. We can go out to Deerfield Beach. We can hit Pompano Beach.
Oh, and you can get down to the Everglades and do the Everglades tour, and that's down near Coopertown where we've been before, and that's not far, maybe what, a 30-minute ride?
True, and also we're what, about 2.5 hours from Orlando, so you can go hit Disney World, you can hit Busch Gardens and everything else. And for those of you that are kind of looking both coasts, we are probably about 4.5 hours from Tampa on the other coast. So it's close to everything, and everything's around there. We've been enjoying our time walking through Coconut Creek and looking around.
Well, the promenade is a great place.
Well, that's true.
A lot of the upscale shops, which are nice.
And the upscale restaurants for those of us that, I mean, I consider myself a foodie, but
well, it's true. We're right outside of Boca, so that's not far.
Very, very true. Boca, which is basically golf course heaven for those of you that everybody knows about golf in Boca. One of the definite pros about being in Coconut Creek is, much like its neighbor, Coral Springs, it's a planned community, and that is definitely a plus. That way everything has been laid out, everything has been put together with convenience and with communication and with transportation in mind. The streets all kind of run in a very, very nice, logical manner. The drivers, on the other hand, which is kind of a con about it, some of the drivers here, well, let's just say that some of the drivers down here represent a con to living down in South Florida, and we'll leave it at that one. We don't want to go too much further than that.
Hey, come on. We were out the other day, and we were turning right, and they cut right in front of us, and we're turning right from the left-hand lane. That's a little different.
This is true. We're from Northeast Georgia. We really haven't been experiencing that where we came from, but we're getting used to it down here now. One of the other things that we really like about Coconut Creek, as well as Coral Springs and this whole South Florida area, is that everybody around this area is so very, very friendly. They're so very, very welcoming. We've walked through a couple of neighborhoods. We've been waving to people and meeting people, just kind of asking them what their opinion is and what they like about down here. And overall, it's a tremendous sense of family and involvement. It doesn't matter whether you live in a condo, you live in a townhouse, or you live in a single family home. Everybody seems to be warm and welcoming, especially in the Coconut Creek community. They just think everything is great. They wave to us. They welcome us coming down. They think that we're newbies, even though we've been down here for a while.
Right, and there's a price point here in Coconut Creek for everyone.
Exactly. There's a price point, and there's also a home type. So whether you want to be in a single family home on a lake with a pool, whether you want to be near a golf course, whether you don't want a lot of the things that go with a single family home, a condo or a townhouse, keep the maintenance kind of low, we have that out here too.
Oh, and don't forget, there's also gated communities and non-gated communities.
Oh, good point, Sue. So yeah, that one we visited yesterday, that San Molina, that was absolutely gorgeous. So
yes, and that was a gated community.
but again, there are equally beautiful communities that are gated and ungated, and it's just really kind of what you're looking for. I can tell you from being down here, from what we've seen and from what folks have told us, there is a lot to look forward to coming down here. The HOA fees, they kind of vary. For those of you that don't know what HOA is, basically the Homeowners Association. And for those of us that live in condos, or those of you that live in condos, it's similar to what the condo associations are. They basically manage all the common areas. They manage all of the areas around the pools, the clubhouses, and stuff like that. The HOA fees down here can range anywhere from about $350 a year up to a couple $1,000s a year, depending upon what the amenities are. Obviously, the more the amenities, the greater the amenities, the greater the fees. Now, one of the things that the HOA does do that a lot of people, I think, overlook is that it gives you representation with the local government. So if there are things, and if there are initiatives going on, if there are things that are going to be happening, like zoning changes or anything that's going to happen, maybe they're going to put a new road in, make a change. Hell, they may even bring in a new casino. You never know. But the associations are positioned so that they can give you representation. And that's a very, very big thing down here, because a lot of times down here, especially being in South Florida, where you have a multitude of diverse neighborhoods and diverse areas, that one lone voice out there in the wind often isn't enough to affect change. But when you have a group that are speaking out on your behalf, you at least get your voice heard and you get your point across. So there is a lot of benefit in addition to just having somebody cut your grass and trim the bushes and the trees in and around your area. So the HOAs do actually have a very beneficial purpose.
Right,
So
and they do add value.
they definitely do add value. But again, if you have any questions at all, please feel free to drop us a note in the little comments area below. Also, if there's a neighborhood that you've been thinking about, or you've looked at, and you've researched, let us know. We'll be more than happy to do a little walking tour of the neighborhood, kind of give you what we can find out on it. Drop a note to us, let us know. Who knows? We may actually even know somebody in there, or have some clients that are moving in or moving out. We have clients spread out all over Coral Springs, Coconut Creek, and South Florida area, especially at Broward County. Just let us know. Be more than happy to shoot you some information. Any kind of questions at all, email us, text us. I mean, smoke signals will work if you want to. It doesn't really matter. So, I'm just kidding. Obviously, I'm just kidding. But again, seriously, drop us a note. We'll do whatever we can to help you guys out, help everybody out. So, and we'll just kind of keep walking around and kind of show you what we like about South Florida and Coconut Creek in particular. So while Suzanne's out spotting us some additional places to shoot some more video, I thought I'd kind of give you a little bit more about what we consider to be a major pro here in Coconut Creek. It's basically the preponderance of parks and recreational facilities. Obviously, I won't say that I'm a golfer, but I do say that I make a half-hearted attempt at trying to be a golfer. So I think a lot of you understand exactly where I'm coming from. Candidly, AT&T comes behind me and buries cable after I hit my divot. You know, hey, I'm being honest with everybody. In all honesty, around the parkland and around the recreational facilities, Coconut Creek has an incredible amount of parks and recreational facilities for people, for everything. There is, as you can see behind us, there are the golf courses. We've gone to Tradewinds Park. We've talked about the Butterfly World. We've talked about the Frisbee golf, the disc golf courses that are in there. There's all kinds of what great and wonderful things around there that you can go out and visit to. Plus, there's also a tremendous amount of nature and natural areas that you can go visit down here in Coconut Creek, and again, also in Coral Springs. As you can see, today is, while we are famous for our sunny weather here in South Florida, today is one of those days where we get the afternoon rain shower. So
It's a little bit overcast, but that's okay.
today's the first day of fall, and in many places, as a matter of fact, we heard this morning, in many places, including Montana, there's actually a snowstorm going on. You know what? I'll take a little bit of cloud and a little bit of rain so that I can avoid a whole lot of cold and a whole lot of snow. So how about you, Suze?
I'd say Dennis, my brother, lives out there, and he's already wearing the winter coat, so I think it's great for us, right? Of course, I'd love to come visit. When you live in South Florida, you've got so many people coming to visit.
This is true. This is so very, very true. One of the other things about Coconut Creek is that, unlike a lot of other cities in Florida, for example, on top of the world or the villages, Coconut Creek is not necessarily known as an age-restricted community. While there are over 55 communities, there are a significant amount of the communities are all-age communities, and that goes for all types of housing. There's a lot of wide-open, all-age housing in there.
Yeah, what is the average age? Do you know?
I think it's 47. I think I read somewhere that the average is like 47. It's a young and growing city.
Good place for families or extended families as well.
One of the things that we found that was very interesting that we weren't really aware of, Coconut Creek is actually a pretty big equestrian area. So there's a lot of folks, in addition to what you can see over in Tradewinds Park, the big equestrian center up there, there's also a lot of farmland, a lot of equestrian centers here. So we just decided to pull off and kind of give everybody a quick look-see as to what's going on. I'll be the first to admit, I'm not an expert on horses. The only thing I know how to do is jump on one and ride at a camp when I was a kid. Most of the equestrian down here activity, I believe it's called English, where they ride side saddle, and I think they're quarter horses. So if horses are an interest of yours, we call that a pro.
Well, definitely, and considering that you could ride year-round, that's also a pro.
So as far as the pros and cons go, what do you say, Suze? Equestrian's a pro?
I'd say equestrian is a pro.
Terrific.
Absolutely.
For those of you that haven't been down to South Florida, or it's been a while coming down to South Florida, this is one of the reasons why we really like being down here. There's pretty much water everywhere that you want to be. Even in the parkland, there's water. There's these huge, a lot of waterfowl out here. Some big old geese. There's houses right here in the water. It's kind of like a godsend. In addition to the beach, which is only 15 minutes away from here, you have all kinds of canals and lakes and ponds that you can look around and relax by. They'll let you take electric watercraft down here. So we're out wandering around Coconut Creek, checking out some spots for some of our out-of-town clients that are looking to move down in here. One of the places we thought we'd take a quick look at, because some of them do have kids, is a place called the Wow Factory. So Suze, let's take a quick check at this place.
It's a nice little area that you can take kids to. You can have birthday parties. They have games in there. Quite a bit of fun.
So looks pretty interesting. Let me take a little look around here and see what's going on here. Okay. So yeah, this looks like a kind of a neat place. It's got all kinds of fun stuff for the kids. Let me see if I can, what else I can take a look around and see. So, see if we can get in without a child. That may be a prerequisite to get in, is to bring a kiddie along. So, but it's inside this nice little shopping center, just a little bit north of the promenade. Very nice shopping center, very nice area here. So, but yeah, I mean, it's something to be looking at for the family-focused aspect of Coconut Creek. We've mentioned it in almost every one of our videos, the weather. We do have to let everybody know that we are part of the Hurricane Alley. So hurricanes are a real threat down here. Fortunately, we're not dealing with anything now. We haven't for quite some time. But if you take a look around outside, in fact, we can kind of swing around here a little bit. Some of the clouds are dark that are moving in. It's probably just going to give us a usual afternoon rain shower that if we just wait 15 or 20 minutes, it'll clear up and it'll be all gone. But again, you do need to understand and be prepared that we do periodically get hurricane warnings, hurricane watches, and every once in a while we'll actually get a hurricane that comes through. The last one came through was Irma, and we were fortunate where it missed us. But again, letting you guys know that that is definitely a con to being down here in Coconut Creek and the surrounding area, is that we are subject to periodic hurricanes and tropical storms.
That's true. I usually just keep an umbrella in the car. At times a hair tie, because you can have a bad hair day.
One of the other cons down here in Coconut Creek, especially as you're getting close to where the butterfly world is, there are bugs. And this time of the year, there are a lot of bugs. And some of those bugs are big. As a matter of fact, I kind of think I saw a mosquito try to land on a runway somewhere.
And the other thing is the iguanas.
Oh yes,
You gotta be careful, you know.
Some of the iguanas are cute, like little geckos that you would see in a pet store, like if you go to PetSmart or Petco. But a couple of the iguanas we've seen are easily 3.5 to 4 feet from tip to tail. They look a lot meaner than they are, but still something you need to be watching out for. And there's again a lot of wildlife around here. We've seen squirrels, we see raccoons, but there are again bugs, mosquitoes. We don't see many bees. And by the way, yes, unfortunately there are cockroaches, and you see those around, and some of those puppies, they get to be real big. As a matter of fact, I think I saw one that actually had a saddle on it for I know, just kidding. Again, we talked a little bit about some of the cons in here. Now, as we were heading up Lions Drive,
The traffic.
It is the high time of the year, so it's a little bit more crowded this time of the year than it is during the late spring and early summer. But you still will get a lot of people coming down here. And as a result of some of the storms that we've had and some of the conditions and a lot of the traffic going on, there's a lot of construction going on. So fair warning, you will be delayed. There's a little bit of traffic. But again, coming from Northeast Georgia, right around Atlanta, it's nothing compared to the way things were up in Atlanta. A 3.5-hour commute to go 38 miles, ridiculous.
Well, that's true, but you can also take the side roads, which isn't bad, because we did go down Lyons and it was the main thoroughfare.
That's
a
true.
little bumper to bumper traffic. But
That's true. Depending upon how you look at it, I mean, it's an average of about 25 to 30 minutes to get anywhere you want to get to in Coconut Creek. Maybe a little bit longer on the weekends or the holidays. You're basically close to everything.
and the
So-
restaurants.
Yes, the restaurant. So,
And of course, one of our favorites is Cooper's Hawk.
right. So again, those of you that are familiar with Cooper's Hawk, the vineyard, every one of their wines is represented there, and the food is fantastic.
Which of course you're always getting the prime.
I know, I can't help it. I'm going to say, I consider myself to be a foodie, but I get the same damn thing every time. It is what it is, but it's a lot of wonderful things. We're really hard pressed to think of anything really substantial cons against Coconut Creek. We love it down here. It's our neighbor. For those of us that live in Coral Springs, it's a wonderful place to live. We love it. We enjoy it. We've been talking about pros and cons of Coconut Creek. One of the things that we think is both a pro and depending upon how your tastes swing, may also be a con, but to us it's a big time pro. The diversity of the different types of housing down here. Right behind us is an upscale neighborhood called San Molino. It's a gated community down here. Very, very nice. Very much upscale neighborhood. Lakes, lake views, pools, and all that kind of fun stuff in there.
Homes are well mannered, well taken care of.
Definitely. So San Molino, thumbs up. Pro, Suze?
Yeah, I'd say it's pro,
Okay.
definitely.
Now, if we swing around, we're just on the same street. Now behind us is more of the farmland. I don't know about you. Many of the places I've been, I have not seen where there is actually a fire hydrant in the middle of the field. But again, the diversity, the differentiation in the types of homes and living down here, you get a little bit of everything down here. I'm gonna go with the pro, Suze. What do you think?
I'd say yes, because in Coconut Creek, you can have an upscale neighborhood, you can live in a condo, you can live in a townhome, you can also live in an area where you're allowed to have horses. So it's a pro to me.
You can actually get a lot more information about the parks themselves. If you check out our other video, everything you want to know about living in Coconut Creek, we did cover a lot of information about some of the local parks in here. Actually did a little tour of some of the parks. It's really terrific. We obviously enjoy it, as you can tell by our videos. So hopefully you'll see how much we enjoy it and you'll enjoy it yourself.